Here's another example of a different situation. We have our two parallel lines with a transversal that create those 8 wonderful angles like we learned in the last night's videos. And this time they give us information about angle 3 and angle 7. So I come over here, angle 3 is 2x plus 40, angle 7 is 3x plus 20, and just like in the last example, these two angles are actually alternate interior. You do not need to know that to get this question correct, but that is true. They're alternate interior, and alternate interior angles are equal. You also remember that they're equal because they're both acute angles, and in this picture there's only big angles and baby angles. If you have two baby angles, they're the same. So to find x, we set them equal to each other. So 3x plus 20 is the same as 2x plus 40. All right, we just do a little bit of algebra. This time I can take away the smaller one. 2x and 2x on both sides take away, and we get just 1x over here, just plain old x, plus 20 equals 40. And then take away 20. This is a pretty short algebra problem. X equals 20. Now I know what x is, so I can find pretty much any angle I want. They ask me about angle 3 first. Let me move this down a little here. Oops. Angle lost his way. So 2x plus 40, and I'm getting that from right here. They're asking about angle 3. So I'm going to pull over this 2x plus 40, and that's all I need. And I'm going to plug in 20 for x. So it's 2 times 20 plus 40, which is 40 plus 40, which is 80. So that angle right there was 80 degrees. And then they want to know what angle 8 is. Well, once again, I'll use a different color here. Angle 8 is a big one. It's a big angle. So it cannot be 80 also. It must be the other part of the 180 degrees that a big and a baby make. So the work here is simply 180 minus 80 is 100 degrees. Alright, this is going to be our last example. There are other examples out there that we'll work on in class, but by now, after this one, we'll have covered every type of example that you can come across except for complementary ones. So we'll save that for class. In this picture, they give us information about angle 2 and angle 3. So look up here, angle 2 is 3x plus 40, so I'm going to write that here. And then angle 3 is 2x. I'll put that here. So the question is, what is the relationship now between angle 2 and 3? Well, they're clearly not the same. This is a big angle. This is a baby angle. So I can't set 3x plus 40 equal to 2x because that's not true. They're not the same. So the only other option, if we remember from this way back at this first page, if we look down here at the right, it's none of these. And it has to be that they are adding up to 180 because we have a big and a baby. So I'm coming back to this one. And in fact, we have this big angle, this baby angle, and we say 3x plus 40, not equals 2x, but plus 2x. We want to add them together, and they add up to 180. So the algebra in this one's a little different because we're not canceling on either side. There's a lot on the left side. We can just combine 3x and 2x. Normally we circle them, not that weird symbol I made. So 3x and 2x makes 5x plus 40 equals 180. Got to take away 40 from both sides. 5x equals, you gotta have some more room here. 5x equals 140, and 140 divided by 5 is, let's do it off to the side. 5 goes into 14. How many times? 2 would be 10. 5 goes into 40 8 times, so x equals 28. Alright, so we have our x, and we have to go back up. Let me just write what x is up here, since I lost my spot. X equals 28. And the measure of angle 6 is what they're asking for. Okay, well, I don't have any information about angle 6, but I know it's a big one, and so isn't 2. So if 2 and 6 are the same, then I can just use 3x plus 40, even though I'm using angle 6, because it didn't really matter that they gave us 2. They could have given us 2, they could have given us 6, they could have given us 8, 4. As long as it was a big one, I can use the 3x plus 40. So that would be 3 times 28 plus 40. That would be 16, 24 is 84 plus 40. That would be 124 degrees. Which makes sense. We want it to be over 90 because it's one of the big angles. And then the angle 1, that's what they're asking for next. Angle 1 we also have no information about, but we could do this a couple different ways. We could subtract the big one from 180 to get this, or we could just plug it into this, which actually might be a little easier. Since 3 is a small one and 1 is a small one, we can just use 2x, and x was 28, so 2 times 28 is 56 degrees. And even though there's no real checks in these, I suppose you could check. You could have checked 28 in the beginning, but we never require that from you. But a cool little check at the end, that might be the easiest check of them all, is just to make sure these add up to 180. 124 plus 56 is 10 here, 7, 8, 180. Yay! And that's that. We have this one went a little longer. I used something that could go over 5 minutes. I don't know if you noticed that. So I kind of cheated, but I wanted to do one less video. So this is the last video. We'll work a little bit more on this in class. This is a huge part of your test, but we'll have tons of practice, and I think you'll think it's pretty easy by the time we're done practicing. All right, have a good night.